little fish today. I'm not sure if you can see it. There's actually a pretty big koi down there. I don't want him to take this because it's a lighter setup. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. They did not like that. This section's deeper than I thought. Yeah, I'm fishing on this side. So this here, the strong flow, that's actually from the rice fields. So at this point, they're flooding the rice fields. So they're letting a lot of water that's been reserved in dams out, flooding the rice fields, and then the extra's coming out here into this. This is more from like the urban canal, I guess would be the way to say it. And there's a fish looking at it. I'm fishing on the calm side, but yeah, no, I wouldn't be able to fish on the other side. That's for sure. So basically, to explain my setup, where I'm starting out here. So down there, past the bridge, that's the old castle moat, which is now a park. So the runoff from rice agriculture goes in there, and then this is actually the canal system for the city. So it's actually much calmer. And if you go that way, wider. It's actually a decent place for carp. And that's what we're up to. So we're kind of targeting the fish that are moving between the two locations, which they kind of do in the morning. I'm trying not to catch a big carp because I don't have this setup's not going to deal with a big carp. Let's try to move you guys just a little bit. moving, so I can be like, oh, there's none here right now. I wonder if I'm too late in the day. If I don't see any groups of fish moving through for a while, we'll either head up or downstream. Probably up. I might have picked the wrong gun. I might have wanted to have been here a little earlier. There we go. Dark chub. There's a pretty big dark chub swimming around. I'm not sure if you can see it. We like polarized lenses. Is that dark chub? Oh, maybe it's a member of the carp family. Let's try getting the bait in front of them again. We're all kind of following a similar pattern of movement. So I'm going to try to put the bait right here. And try that. And then I wish it was cloudy. They said this morning, oh, it's going to rain today, it's going to rain. Never happened. I don't know what that fish is. So what they're not doing is they're not feeding off the bottom. They're just taking different techniques. What they're doing is I think they're patrolling for bugs. And so they're trying to find bugs to eat. Because they're not taking anything near the bottom. I don't see them dipping down to the bottom. They seem to just be attempting to get something kind of higher middle of the water column. Making me think insects. Well, we'll see. Oh, he's looking at the bait. Oh. This guy's hunting in the crevices of the rocks. What is the fish? Okay. I don't know what's up. Maybe I gotta suspend the bait in the middle of the water column. I mean, it turns out the float I have is not powerful enough to do that. It just sinks. Need to grab a bigger float. Hmm. I got bread and I got worms. Neither of them seem very interesting to fish with today. They're also super sensitive to any movements I make. I think they can just see me so well because it's bright. I wonder if the fact that this is a pretty narrow channel also makes them feel nervous. No, those debris are just going to get tangled in my line like that. Come on. Come on. Yay, seaweed. There. I'm going to put a new worm on there. I'm going to grab one. We might move in a few minutes. I'll put a new worm on here, and I think this time, we'll try this spot. I just dropped the worm. In the event that should come as a shock to no one, the worm does not want to be speared by the hook. No, no one's shocked? No, me neither. Worm's getting more interest. No strikes. This section over here is in the shade now. Maybe that will work better. Move upstream just a little. The sun is kind of almost at my back, so my shadow's sort of interfering with our fishing now in that spot. Because when I first came to set up, it was actually kind of cloudy, which I would honestly prefer over this. But yeah, we're forecasting to have rain. Cheeky rain. Yeah, well, it didn't happen. Like a lot of those weather forecasts, you're like, oh, it's going to rain. Oh, really? Oh, that sounds good. I'm just going to get some fishing in before it starts to rain. Then it gets nice and sunny. So it's like, what is that rain happening? Is that a bass? There shouldn't be bass in here. Black bass are kind of well, they're an invasive species. They're a bit of a pain. It's not been fun trying to remove them. There's this one area where every year I kill a few, and I think I kill them all, and then the next year I see more bass, and it's like, oh, now I gotta go kill more. That's a turtle. Now I gotta go kill more bass out of there. And they're sort of like this invasive. It feels like it's hard to get rid of them all. You know, like any invasive species, once they start getting in there and they start breeding, they just become a pain, and it's so hard to get rid of them. You know, that's what. Ooh, ooh. I caught a branch. Now look, Mr. Turtle, leave it alone. I don't want to. I don't want to catch a turtle. It's like a pain. But yeah, bass. They're invasive. They're a pain. One of the ponds I fish at, it was bluegill that were the problem invasive for a while. So, and I guess there was maybe some black bass too. So they had a sign that was like, oh, if you catch a black bass, which would be largemouth or smallmouth, or bluegill, you know, don't release them, just kill them. And so the first year I was fishing here, I actually caught a few bluegill there. And no bass, and never caught another bluegill or bass after the first year. So I think that they did a good job of eliminating them. That pond is also fished really hard, so that makes it easier. Ugh, it's a turtle. He was so still, I thought he was a rock. Let him go. See, this might be a bad spot because they seem to mostly just be traveling through here. Like, not a lot of... Oh, the turtle, he's interested in them. I'm not sure if you could... So he's sitting there. I thought he was a rock at first. And then but then noticed the shape. I'm like, yeah, that's a turtle. He didn't do anything. And then a group of little fish went by. Yeah, I think that they're just traveling through here and they're not going to bite today. I have had some luck just here with worms, or one time tried power bait here. Worked really well. Today, we might need to find a new spot where they are more relaxed. Maybe me talking is the problem. Can I, does that help you guys at all? No, I don't think you can. I still don't think you can see the turtle. I mean, if I don't have my polarized on, I can barely see the turtle. Let's take a few more minutes here, and then we're going to move upstream. Hopefully, the place will be more relaxed. We're not traveling through. I wonder if the turtle's ambushing here. Yeah, that turtle he didn't get it, but he went for it. I think this is a bad spot because there's a turtle. Yeah, they're all rushing past the turtle. They can see the turtle now. His ambush didn't work. Now I think they're all spooked. Yeah, he's just gonna sit still, isn't he? And wait. Yep. Oh, he missed another one. This turtle's not having a good hunting day. Tell you what, buddy, if I catch one, I'll stun it and toss it in for you. Yeah, they're all spooked out of here. He's just moving around now. Oh! Fish on, fish on, fish on. He dodged the turtle and tried to take the worm. He thought he was clever. I'll tell you what, I respect that. I'm going to toss you in near the turtle, but I'm not going to stun you, okay? Hey. Stay still. Let me get the hook out. There we go. Nice chub. Now, I'm going to throw him back kind of near the turtle. Let's see what happens. I'm not sure you will see. So we're going to say bye-bye. I hope you're quick. Oh, yeah, he's quick. Actually, he didn't even go deep enough for the turtle to have a chance. So there's one. One chub on the live stream. Alright, so keeping it kind of middle of the water column seems to be what I need to do. Let's kind of put it up there. Nah, not middle, but like bottom. Not on the bottom, but kind of close. Bottom quarter. So this type of fishing seems to go. You get some really quick hits. On a good day, it's a lot of fun because it's a lot of like fast hits. But, you know, when it's slow, it's slow. That's why they call it fishing and not catching. Glacier Shark, meanwhile, is like, no, I call it catching. A miniature livelihood. For me, it's just a relaxing side thing. I'm not even that big enough a YouTuber to make ad money. Doesn't stop YouTube from playing ads. Turtle's on the move. They're all spooked again. That one I caught, he juked the turtle, then thought he could grab the worm. Yeah, no, they're all streaking through. Yeah, I think that this is kind of a nervous spot for them, and with the turtle. Actually, now that I think about it, I do see turtles in this section a lot. I think the turtles have learned this is it. It forces the fish in, and it's a good hunting spot. Which I was like, oh, it forces them in, it's going to be a good fishing spot. No, not so much. They're nervous. They don't want to bite. Alright. Let's head up towards... I'm thinking where we want to go. Oh yeah, that one just saw a turtle and turned around and went back upstream. It was like, nah. It's funny because turtles are a slow predator. Well, they rely on ambush. And they really do. Because once the fish spot them, if they have any distance where they spot them from behind like that one did, there's not a chance for the turtle to catch up to that. Oh, what is it? Fish on, fish on, fish on, fish on! No. There's a second turtle. How am I going to get this out of your beak? Okay, I'm gonna walk them down to where there's not a fence and the water's low or the water's close. So there's two turtles there. Turns out the second, which actually explains some of the fish behavior. Okay, come on, let's go. I don't have a net, and so it's going to be easiest for me to pull you up where there's no fence. A very light setup for catching a turtle. Now I'm going to wish I had my GoPro just take a photo of this whole situation. Buddy. It's gonna freak out all the fish in the canal. Like, hey, look at that turtle. Can you? This is not how it's supposed to go, buddy. Alright, relax, relax. I'm going to drag you. Oh, there's a big carp. Come on, come on. Come on. You're too heavy to pull up. If I caught a big fish, I'd probably be doing the same thing, although the fight would be different. Alright, there's the gate. Turtle on. All right, buddy, we're almost there. End of the fence line. I'm not even sure how to get a hook out of a turtle's mouth, to be totally honest. I've never hooked a turtle before. That looks like a big bass. It really does. There should not be bass in there. Okay. Not my plan to catch. Probably wasn't your plan to. Oh, come on, don't get under those rocks. Oh, it came free. Perfect. Hey, are you tired out? Will you let me pick you up? I shouldn't pick him up. I don't think I'm allowed to. I don't know what the rails about that are here, but I don't think that's a carp. That's a weird looking carp. What is that? It's got too much of a stomach to be a carp. Is that a bass? It is, it's not supposed to be in here. He doesn't have the scales of a carp. What is that fish? Almost food. Come on. Aggression. Come on, aggressive bite. It's funny how the turtles, actually maybe, I didn't realize this, if I just slacked up on it, it would have popped out like it did there. Let's see, what do I know is in here? Carp? Not. There's a few pieces of carp. Koi. Yeah. Silvers. Huh. Okay, I didn't tell me to come out. Live worms on it. Didn't even see a fish. Okay. So, we accidentally caught a turtle. That was interesting. There's some mystery fishing here. I'm not sure what it is. It almost looks like a North American bass, which should not be in here. So if that is, they're invasive. Catch one of them, got to give them the old poppy pop to the head. There's catfish in here. It's not a catfish. It's more catfish. So if you're from North America, they're going to look almost like cusk to you, but there are more catfish. Let's do this. Do I need to change the worm? Because that's the second thing I've caught in the same worm. Alright, not gonna lie. I would have kind of liked to have pulled the turtle in so I could take a picture of myself with the turtle. But that's okay. He got off. That's the important part. He was just kind of sitting there tired. I could have picked him up. I don't think I'm allowed to. I don't know what the rules are about turtles here. And I don't want to break the law on video. That's a bad idea. Bad place to break the law. Part of me is kind of tempted to come from ultralight and try like a surface popper early in the morning. Firstly, because it would be kind of cool to catch something on it. And third, it'd be kind of cool. Well, it'll get catfish too. All right, let's change the worm, and then we're gonna change spots. We're gonna head upstream. Can't believe I snagged the turtle. Because the float moved. I wasn't paying enough attention. I think the float moved. I couldn't see the bait anymore, so I just set it, and I didn't like stop and analyze like, hey, what's getting it? Otherwise, I think the turtle would have just spat it, or I don't know, maybe it was already stuck. Hard to say. Start ending it like Bob from anything and just making shorts out of my lives. Okay. Alright, time for new bait. So far our count is... Oh, he bent that hook a bit. Whoa! So far our count is 1 chub and 1 turtle. I'm not sure if this is showing up on screen, but the turtle bent the hook. I'm not getting this perfectly straight again, am I? That makes sense. Turtles have strong jaws. These are hooks for small fish. I'm sort of surprised nothing broke. Like the line or a hook or something when I caught the turtle. That's another thing. That fish I couldn't identify that looks like a bass. It was pretty big. I'm almost worried it would break the rod. That almost looks like a bass too. It's got that like black line on it. Uh-oh. Chat, we might that. Right, I'm 80% sure that's a bass. Chat, we might have to engage in a little bit. I don't like this stuff. Of invasive control. I'd have to move some bass. Get the. I think I want to use the ultralight. It's really empty. The bass should start nesting soon, right? And if they're nesting, that should mean they're easy to catch. Oh, another turtle. Another turtle. There's a lot. I feel like the turtle population has increased a lot here. That's another thing is that I remember like rarely ever seeing a turtle in here now. Oh, that's four turtles. Okay. Let's try here. Lots of little stuff here. Yeah, I don't know. Those really do look like bass, and the bass are going to eat up the, local species. So I'm feeling like we chat. Should we go after bass? I think we should. I should get out my Kotaku stuff. Kotaku bass. It's a type of artwork where you turn the. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Well, I think that the bass are going to be the biggest threat to like the young baby chub, the young koi. Ugh, man, I don't like them in here. What do we think? Should we go kill a bunch of bass? Oh, geez, another turtle. Look at him go. You leave my worm alone. Both of them. The small one and the smaller one. It's going to be way harder. Like, there's nowhere to... I'd have to jump in the water if I got a bass. Yep, bass. If I got a turtle here, it'd end up ending with me in the water. You'd find that funny, right, chat? Thinking the net, ultralight, maybe some trout lures would work on the bass. I'm not sure what. I don't do a lot of bass fishing. Oh, because I don't think like. Got some big poppers. Oh, the translens. Maybe that would work on the bass. I'm not 100% sure, but I really do suspect those are bass that I'm seeing. And they're not taking the little tiny worm. Oh, there's some big koi coming in from the right side. I am Stanley. You missed both of my catches so far today. So my first catch was a nice little dark chub. And then my second catch was a turtle. And this is too light a setup to pull up a turtle, so I had to like walk him along to under the bridge where I could get down to him. There's also some mystery fish in here that I kind of half suspect are black bass, which should not be in here. They're invasive. So thinking about coming out on Saturday, not doing the live stream, actually there's a video, and trying to kill them. Actually, my wife likes the taste of bass, so that'll work well. So in Tochigi, which is where I am, bass are becoming a problem, an invasive problem. I think, I don't know if you've ever been on the bass fishing subreddit, but like, they do not like people killing bass. So I'm kind of tempted to like just try to catch a few. If I do catch them, Ikijimi them, the spike through the head, and then post about it there. Hopefully they're not bass. Maybe it's some type of carp I'm misidentifying, but it just does not. It's got this black stripe along the side, which is what makes me think it's a bass, and its scales are too small. right? Because, you know, we do a lot of course fishing here. So I've got fixed line, and all the fish are on the other side. My line just came off. Oh boy. So that line does not have a stopper, and it just connects to the Lillian. That's what this is called. And it just slipped off the Lillian, and my line is just sitting out there now. Oh, this is annoying. This might be the end of the live stream. I gotta go home, get the huge net or a really long rod, and deal with this. All right, I might be coming back here tomorrow morning to deal with or attempt to catch whatever that mystery fish is. In the meantime, I don't know, I'm debating whether to just end the live stream here or take you guys for a walk to go get a really long net to go get that back. How long have we been live? It's been almost an hour. We might be sticker and no. No, that's not gonna work. How am I getting that back? I mean, it's not like it's an expensive terminal tackle there, but it's like I don't want to leave it in the water. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We are going to pack up. We've been... I started fishing when I live streamed. We've only been at this an hour. See that thing right there? I don't know if you guys can see it. Right by where the turtle was. I feel like that's a bass. It moves pretty quick. It's got this kind of long black stripe along its body. Like, I think that's a bass. Okay. And there really should not be bass in here. Turtle I hooked isn't back in the spot. Okay. So I have lost my line. I don't have a replacement line. I also don't want to leave stuff in the water. So we're going to go for a very short walk back to where I live to grab the extendable net, which I think should be able to reach. So this is becoming a bit of a weird quest. Now, I am 99.9% sure it's going to be my kit there. More likely come back with a, little note telling me not to leave my fishing gear and my fishing gear gone. Or a note from the hotel or the school saying it's at their security desk and I'm a dick. I shouldn't say that on live stream. They wouldn't literally say that last part, they would just imply it. There's the Castle Moat. There's the primary school. Actually, you know what? I am going to end the live stream now that I think about it, because I don't want to show the entire internet where I live. Like, you could probably figure out, like, what block, or Chrome as they're called here, I actually live in, just from the videos. But I'm not going to show you guys the exact one, so I'm going to shut off this live stream in a few minutes. Basically when I get to my Chrome. So this, since we're walking, is actually an event hall. Used to be a hotel in an event space, but they closed the hotel side of it. It's like a really fancy restaurant there. It's really nice. I've eaten there a few times for like special occasions. But their big thing is they do a lot of weddings. They have a mock-up of a church. They have a banquet hall. Pretty good cooks. They do like a nice wedding. This part here used to be the hotel part. So it used to be, oh, we have hotel rooms and stuff like that. I wonder if it was kind of older though. I think it was a hotel first. So I wonder if that was like, it doesn't bring enough money to make it worthwhile to renovate the hotel. So they just knocked it over. Which is too bad. Because they knocked it over right before I had relatives visit, so they couldn't stay there. That was the original plan. Oh, you'll just stay at that hotel. Those over there, those box-like containers, that's actually a new hotel, not open yet. R9, so they're a chain. You find them around Japan. Their sort of target market is people on road trips, driving long distance, multi-days, and they want to stop and sleep somewhere. That's sort of their market. They have these individual containers. Each one's a unit to rent. We've stayed in it once in Oyama, just because one in Oyama is nice because it's right by the train station. Usually they're by interchanges, major exits, stuff like that. This one's a little far from Mocha Interchange because they have two. This is our third one in Mocha now. The other two are closer to the interchanges, the highway. This one's kind of far. But yeah, it's not open yet. I'm not sure if they're waiting for some permits or something like that. Everything looks done. They still got some work to do, I guess. All right. We'll cross. I'm going to kind of just point you at the river. I'll go get my stuff that I need. Trash. Yeah, I did take out the trash. So, a while ago, when I was on Sunfish King's fishing tournament live stream, I remember it was like 4 o'clock in the morning my time, and I get here and I'm waiting for the light, and I'm like, normally I would jaywalk, but the camera was on. I was live streaming. I was like, I don't want to jaywalk on live stream. That's not good. Okay. So this, I don't know if Glacier Shark is still here. He's talking about how fast the water is. This is agricultural canal. So during the year, the water's held back by dams. When it comes time to flood the rice fields, the water's released. It's pumped into the rice fields, and then the runoff, because they try to keep it circulating, comes into here. Goes through, eventually joins that canal by the park and what used to be the castle moat. This area, Aramachi, back, long time ago, Edo period, this was more of where a lot of the samurai lived. I think I've talked about this on a live stream before, near the castle. And however, this area basically got destroyed. Happens. And got rebuilt. And so now it's got lots of parks, apartment buildings, stuff like that. Okay, I'm going to leave you guys here for a few minutes while I get the net to retrieve the missing line. All right, we've retrieved the net. Now we're going to use the net to the lost fishing line. That song's stuck in my head. Having a kid, especially a 3-year-old, you get like random songs stuck in your head. For a while, it was a Japanese one, Hachimane. And then at another point, it was English one. Do your ears hang low? Well, it's English. I don't know if it's English as in, I think it's American. Anyways, and now it's Alouette. I don't even know why. Nobody in our family speaks French. Yeah, they're doing some work in there. Okay, we get to the water. Retrieve the line. And then we'll fish for a few more minutes. But this was a little bit of a unfortunate event. AKA, my line's stuck in the water. I don't have a spare line, and even if I did, well, or spare float, I do have spare hooks. That's the only thing I have spares of. Because I'm like, oh, it's close to home. I'm just going to do a short, like, hour-and-a-half live stream. I don't need that much equipment. It's catch and release anyways. So I don't need to worry about, bringing lots of equipment. I didn't even bring a net. Because I'm like, we're just going to be catching tiny little fish. And then I catch a turtle. Can't pull the turtle up. Don't really want to crawl. I guess I could have crawled into the water. But instead just walked the turtle down to the bridge where it was easy to just reach in and grab him. So yeah. Maybe that rain they promised is finally going to come. Hope it doesn't last all week. Yeah, what would I do? That's the primary school. So the primary school here is actually built on the location that the castle used to be, which isn't an uncommon practice here. So they abolished the Han system, basically the domain system. So the castles were turned over to the central government, and most of the time the central government didn't want them, so they turned them over to the municipal governments. And the municipal governments were like, well, what are we going to do with a castle? And a lot of them were like, well, hey, there's now this law about how we have to educate all children. Why don't we just build a school on top of the castle? And so they did. So especially the castles that are kind of in the middle of town or cities, a lot of times schools were built on top of them. The ones that were more difficult to or more remote, a lot of them became parks. And a small number were preserved in one degree or another. So, for example, a lot of these castles are huge, and even the ones that are preserved, it's usually only the inner part that's preserved. So, for example, Utsunomiya, near where I live, the capital of this prefecture. There are remains of Utsunomiya Castle, but it's really only the central-most part. And there's a cart. So really only the central-most part of Kingfisher of Utsunomiya Castle was preserved. Aizu Wakamatsu, same thing. Only really the centermost part of Aizu Wakamatsu Castle was preserved. Okay, so here's the plan. I really do feel like those are bass. Okay, where's my... There it is. So, we're going to try to fish it out with the net. That really does look like a bass. It's got like this weird black stripe. I'm not 100% sure. I kind of want to catch one to check and find out. Okay. So, there's our float. Our line's attached. Here's our float. The line's attached to the float, so I'm going to pick that up. And nope, still not long enough. Somehow I need an even longer net. Okay. It'd really be cool to do this without getting wet, but I feel like I can't. Nope. Okay, maybe not throw it left-handed. Oh, no. So close. I think it's in. I got it. Okay. There we go. I'm just going to boink, dump that over the side. Over the walls. And we got it. And we didn't like tangle the hook up in it either, which is nice. All right, I'll tell you what. We are, on that note, which is a very good note, going to call it a day. So, if you're watching the replay, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in our next adventure.